This is Jessica Levine coming at you from Jonathan's The Rub at Memorial Green. We hope to see you in 2023 and for Valentine's Day, February 14th.
Welcome to Successful Living with Bill Napick. Every week, we talk with interesting people in a variety of professions for ideas to enhance your success in all aspects of life. Successful Living with Bill Napick starts right now. Here's Bill Napick.
Welcome to the show. It is Successful Living with Bill and Jenna right here, and we are on location for this New Year's. We are at Jonathan's The Rub restaurant in the Memorial Green location. We have Jessica Levine and, of course, with P&R Creative, Jenna Jackson. First of all, Jenna, let's tell people a little bit how you put this together to get us here at this fantastic restaurant right here in 2023.
I mean, Bill, you have to know people, right? You know that.
Yes.
And I know one of the best people, Jessica Levine. We've actually known each other for years since our babies were little. We won't talk about how old we are. But Jonathan's The Rub has two amazing locations, and they are our client. We are very happy to say. So we help them with all their marketing, social media needs. So I was able to get some inside access for us here with Jessica just before they opened for the day at the Memorial Green location.
Well, welcome to the show, Jessica Levine. And I know your dad calls you Jessie.
He sure does, yes. I go by Jessica, Jessie, Jess. As long as you come in the door, I will answer to either three of those names.
That sounds awesome. Well, here you are. Primarily, you have two locations, your company, Jonathan's The Rub. There are two locations. Right now, we're at Memorial Green. Let's tell people, first of all, about the two locations, the differences, and about Memorial Green, where we're at right now.
Sure, I think, we've kind of defied restaurant odds by having two restaurants in the same zip code, but I think that the reason it works out, quite frankly, is because they are both a little bit different. Over here at Memorial Green, it's really about celebration, celebratory events. We have a lot of anniversaries, birthdays, and lots of fun parties that we do over here. Over at the Campbell Place location, they're more casual. So it's your everyday kind of cheers where everybody knows your name. You can come in on a daily basis, never get sick and tired of it, and come in and have a great meal every time at either location. And I think that that's what's made it so successful. And, just a little bit different for each location has been kind of the key to success here.
I was just thinking they are definitely different environments, but the one thing that's tried and true at both is amazing food, right? And always amazing service. And you're very likely to see a member of the Levine family. Talk to us a little bit about how you're at Memorial Green, who's over at Campbell Place, kind of how that works.
Sure. So let's see. In 2018, we opened the Memorial Green location, and I really left the original and spearheaded this project. And my brother, a couple of years later, we had the opportunity to move our original location to a nicer facility right on the feeder. And so you'll be able to see my brother over there every single day. My dad is in between both locations, so it's really great to still have him around and involved to some extent. And,
We won't overdo it, right?
We'll get back to that.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Dad, good to see you.
They're calling you over at Campbell's
Yeah, Sam.
location.
Sam just called me. He needs you over there. But I think that Sam's doing a great job. I am very proud of where we've come, and I really can't see what we're able. I can't wait to see what we're able to come up with next.
Well, one of the things, as far as the ambiance of each restaurant, is a little different. In fact, I go to both of the restaurants, and sometimes I'm in the mood for Memorial Green, and sometimes Campbell Place. So that's an interesting thing. Let's tell people a little bit about that, and also the menu is a little different as well.
I think because we're more of a celebratory restaurant that it warrants higher end food, service, and even the presentation of the food. So for here, if you have anything a bone-in filet mignon, which is one of my personal favorites. I don't think that you see that very often, but we offer it sliced. So they don't do that over at Campbell Place. It's just a little bit of a different service, but I feel like there's little things like that throughout the menu that make us different. They're, again, a little bit more casual. So you'll see more of Dad's interpretation of spicier Tex-Mex. He got a little, he dabbled a little bit with going like the Cajun route. He did spend a little bit of time in New Orleans, so he kind of focused on that over at the Campbell Place location. I think that that's kind of what makes it more of your everyday casual spot, is that you're able to come in, have a burger, come in, have a sandwich, maybe like a spicy pasta dish. And here you can have, Ciappino, you can have Fra Diavolo. So it's just kind of a little bit more of an upscale menu offering than over at Campbell Place.
I feel like, some of your sort of tried and true items are on both menus too, right?
That is correct. Yes.
A little bit of like that original, like the reason everyone loves Jonathan's the Rub, like what we got back in the old days at the place by Sunny's convenience store, which I loved.
That was a lot of fun.
It was fun. It was crazy and fun to see you guys grow.
Yes.
I think it would be fun to talk about that. Like, talk a little bit about, for people who may not know, how did your dad get into this world? And then how did that ignite your passion to really stay in the restaurant business and grow it?
I think it started when I was a kid. Growing up in Cape Cod, we had a couple of different restaurants, and each one was uniquely different. One was casual, one was family every day, and then one was more of the higher end, which is where I was working. So I've been in this industry since middle school. I started bussing tables. I was so excited when guests would get up from their table, because that meant that I got to
do something
and go clean it. And I felt important. And, the tips at the time was great because, what
that was your whole money.
I was like, yay, money for candy. But so that was really my first introduction into the world of restaurants. Now, when we left Massachusetts and we came down to Texas, Dad wasn't really doing the restaurant thing at first. It's a very hard industry. It's variable. You don't, know what's going on from one day to the next. So he was trying something with personal chef and catering, which is more fixed. Through that, we got to go in these lovely homes. I got to meet amazing people in the Memorial area. It really solidified our connection with the community. What is more intimate than being in someone's home? Through being able to cook for these guys in their home, it really solidified my passion for this industry and just wanting people to not have to worry about anything and just have a great time, because it's what you would want. It's what you would want and I would want for a nice, fun, festive occasion or event. Through that, we decided to, people were pushing us to throw in some tables and chairs, and they could fit at that little tiny sliver of a spot we had where we were catering and doing personal chef work. It was interesting how that grew. And over 10 years, we took over the whole entire strip mall. BYOB was really fun. The guests in Memorial really, really know good wine. So it was really fun to share that with them and see what they would bring in. The passion was always there. The food, we're all big foodies. And I think if you have a combination of appreciating good food and appreciating great people and seeing everyone, when they walk in the door, it's just a different feeling. And, when you come in, Jenna, or when you come in, Bill, it's genuinely amazing. And it makes me happy to see you. So it really, every day, it ignites that interest and that flame of wanting to continue on and carry on and create. And food is like artwork, so it is very much a creative side that I like to tap into. For Valentine's Day, it's been really fun working with the chef to try and come up with something amazing for the guests to enjoy on February 14th over here. So I think that that's what keeps me going. And Dad has the same passion. Sam has the same passion. And so it's something that we all have in common. And our poor spouses, whenever we go out to family dinners, we're always talking about work, but that's what we truly enjoy and we really love it. And, you love people and you love food. Mm-hmm. This is a really good industry to be in then.
When we think about where you started, you mentioned that your dad spent some time in Louisiana. It seems like your restaurant, the cuisine, as people listening, we're right here on location at Jonathan's The Rub, a tremendous restaurant. If you're listening outside of Houston on the internet, check it out, Jonathan's The Rub. We're at their Memorial Green location with Jessica Levine. Well, your dad, as he started in Cape Cod, it seems like from everywhere he's been, and you have been as a family, you bring some of that cuisine, because let's tell people about the cuisine. You can get a great steak here. You already mentioned hamburgers from a casual standpoint. Tremendous seafood, but there's also an Italian element. Brooklyn, right?
Absolutely.
So, I mean, that's the beauty of someone that has the vision in the food industry to be able to gather from their travels and to incorporate that into the, as you said, it's art.
I think so. I always tell people that the menu is kind of a map of where my family and I have been. Obviously, starting
Kinda
in
like Christopher
Brooklyn.
Columbus. You see
right.
the boat go.
You see that? We went
so
here,
cool,
and then here, and then
though.
here.
Yeah, I love that.
So yeah, definitely Brooklyn roots. Started. I was born there. My dad, my grandmother as well. That's where you'll see the Brooklyn Italian influence on the menu. Going and growing up in Cape Cod was one of the most magical experiences. So grateful that I got to spend my childhood there, but that's really where the seafood aspect comes in. And there's amazing seafood up there. We just brought that knowledge of what we learned down here to Texas. After leaving Massachusetts, Dad did spend a little bit of time in New Orleans. That's where you'll pick up on the redfish New Orleans, so the blackened redfish with crab meat and things. Yes, definitely the chicken and sausage gumbo. You wouldn't believe how many compliments we get on the gumbo, and I'm like, oh, we're not from Louisiana, but that's okay because he picked it up from there. And then in Texas with the steaks and the burger, even chicken fingers. Dad, after 25 years of cooking, 35 years of cooking, is like, oh, I'm known for my burgers and chicken fingers. What's going on here? But the kids love it. And so I think that there's really something for everyone on the menu. There's also a fusion as well. And I think that you'll see that whenever you guys come in here. It's a fabulous menu, and it's online as well at jonathanstherub.com.
jonathanstherub.com.
It is a very, when I think of you guys, whichever location, it's very authentic. Like everything on the menu, you have such a variety, it's such a deep menu, but it's all authentic. You learned it from those places. It's so good. Everything is consistent and delicious.
Thank
But
you.
then also, like you said, the fun part for you guys, I mean, you walk in and someone's always greeting you, usually one of you guys. I feel like you guys know everyone in the community, right? And Memorial is getting huge. I mean, it took me 15 minutes to get from my house in Memorial on the other side, right near Campbell, to here. So it really is a growing sort of area. But even if you're not in the Memorial area, check it out. If you're visiting Houston, if you're somewhere else in town, it's worth the drive. These places are amazing.
Thank you. And I think, when you make everything from scratch, you really pay attention to the ingredients, the sauces, the meatballs. We have organic chicken breast. I mean, when you really pay attention to the product that you're bringing in, we've got this great seafood connection with Walter. He's got great fish, great fresh seafood. If you don't have fresh fish, you got to get out of town. It's
No
not going to
kidding.
work here because everyone in Houston has become a foodie. This is a foodie town. It's one of the things that attracted us to the city is because there's so many people that have such an appreciation for food. In fact, the saying used to be in New York, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Well, I'm sorry, it's now Houston. If you can make it here in the food industry, I truly feel that you can make it anywhere because Houston knows good food. And if you're not providing it, they're just going to go right on down the road to the next one.
As you said a minute ago, is the word details.
Yep.
Yeah, you might have a steak, a beautiful steak. However, going to the details down to the croutons. Now, the croutons that you have
Oh
here,
my God.
I'm eating the salad, and it's like, wait a minute, the salad's great. But these croutons,
Those homemade croutons
there's
are like candy.
They're cracked.
It's
They're
gotta-
so
distinctive.
good. They're so good.
But that's what I mean. If you take a little bit of extra time and you don't get lazy and rip open a package and claim that is your signature crouton, dressing, sauce, you can't get away with that here in Houston. You have to. I strongly suggest making everything from scratch because that's the only thing that's going to fly.
And just that, like Bill said, that attention to detail is so key.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Thank
How
you.
how does it work? I'm fascinated by the behind the scenes part of this. How does it work when there's talk of developing a new item for the menu? What is that process like with you and your dad and Sam and the chefs? And
I think it's a very interesting and it's a creative moment. And there's no schedule. Like we're gonna meet on the 1st of every month and go over. Truly, honestly, it's inspirational. It's again. I just went away for vacation. What did I pick up from there? Hey guys, I have an idea. So it's really, again, nothing fixed and organized. It's just, you run a product mix every quarter and you see what's working well, what's not working. You take off the bottom 10% from time to time and you try to come up with things that are new. But again, it's really what inspires us and what, if we like it, we think that you guys will all like it as well, hopefully.
that's so interesting. And then I guess you have to really, with that attention to detail, test it out, maybe
Right.
tweak it a little. What can
Dad,
you add?
it really all comes from Dad for the most part. I've really been dipping my toe in the pond lately and coming up with, it's been really fun for me to go into that realm, which I usually don't do, but I've been really focusing on, feature menus and also seasonal, right? Like what can we bring in right now? And what can, fall, it's always, pumpkin this and turkey that and certain spices. So it also is relevant to the season. Again, where we've been and what we've picked up. And Dad is really the one, he'll have a dream about something and he'll wake up and say, hey, I have an idea. Or recently he just started making his pot pies again, which I'm sorry, they're amazing.
Pot pies.
He used to have a
Oh my
company.
Wow.
Wait a second.
I'm telling you, I have a
Come
little
on
known
now.
fact, everyone. Not a lot of people know this,
Alert.
but when we lived on Cape Cod and I was growing up, we had a pot pie company called Cape Cod Gourmet.
Oh, my.
And he used to sell his pot pies at Stop and Shop, which is a grocery store, very popular grocery store up north. He had a seafood pot pie, a beef pot pie, chicken, and a vegetable. And hello, it's winter, but we are in Texas. It's not very cold. But still, just the other day, he made one, and I looked at the picture, and I was salivating. I was on vacation. I wasn't here. I couldn't even try it. I said, this is not fair. And but things like that. He'll just wake up and be inspired by something that he read or something that he saw on TV, or he'll remember something that he's done from the past and be like, you know what? I'm gonna do this again. And everything that he touches turns to gold. He has a palette. I don't know. It must have skipped over me. Hopefully it's gone to my son, Jay, who is at the Culinary Institute of America in San Antonio, finishing up his second year. So it's really just a family passion. And Jay, my son, has the palate of my dad. So I'm really interested to see where he can take the restaurants in the future. So again, it's still staying in the family, and it's been so fun.
You're listening to the Successful Living Show with Jenna and Bill. I'm Bill.
I'm Jenna.
See how and we're with Jessica Levine at Jonathan's The Rub on location right here in Houston, Texas, the Memorial Green location. We're going to talk more about flavors and so much more. Please stay with us. Hey everybody, it's Bill, and I hope you're enjoying listening to the show, but I do want to tell you, you can also see this show. It's beautiful inside Jonathan's The Rub. You can see us talking there. You'll get an idea of the ambiance if you've not been there. So just go to my website, radiobill.net. Click on the YouTube link, and this is show number 351, Successful Living Show 351. Go to radiobill.net. Click on the YouTube. This is a show you'll not only want to hear, but also you'll want to see this restaurant. And welcome back. We are at Jonathan's The Rub, a tremendous restaurant right here in Houston, Texas, the fourth largest city, with Jessica Levine and Jenna Jackson. I am Bill Napick, right here on the Successful Living Show. Before we took the break, we talked about some of the flavors and the origins and the ideas that you put together as food is art, and the ambiance is art as well. But I had your scallops wrapped in bacon for the first time, even though I've been here many times, just 2 weeks ago. And first of all, scallops and bacon, kind of hard to go wrong if it's. But then you added the Gruyere cheese sauce, which was out of sight. And as the servers went to take away the dish, the scallops have disappeared. I said, no, we scooped up every bit of that Gruyere cheese sauce. I don't know what else is in it, but tell us about that before we go further,
I'm so
Jessie.
glad that you got to enjoy it. It's been on the menu for quite some time, and I think that that's really what's interesting as well about the menu is every time you can come in and try something different, and it's really a different experience with every single dish. We have great wine to pair, great cocktails to pair with all of the food, fresh ingredients, fresh produce, fresh fish, so you really can't go wrong. Everything is homemade. I just even recently got to have an experience of bottling up our own Jonathan's The Rub Cabernet from Paso Robles in California. I got to work with a wonderful vineyard, Donati Vineyards, and there it is. It was just such a fun, creative process for us. So, you know, it's not only just the scallops wrapped with bacon and the Gruyere. There's, you know, wonderful wine to pair. I'm excited to announce that I'm going to start working on a white wine that would pair extremely well with your scallops wrapped with bacon and Gruyere.
I'll be here for that.
So I'm looking forward to debuting that hopefully in the spring. So it's very exciting.
What a fun process. I mean, you talked about food as art. How much fun to also create a wine.
It was really a lot of fun. They made the process so easy.
It.
Oh yeah, that was the hard part, was tasting all the different, you know, samples that they had to bring in. But, you know, I think honestly the hardest part for me was you have just this little section in the back to debut or tell people a little bit about you and who you are in such a short little sticker. And out of all of the things, that was the hardest part for me. But even on the top, I think it just solidifies who we are. It says family, friends, hospitality, and good food. And really that's what Jonathan's is all about. And it's fun to work with family. We were talking about my son kind of carrying on the torch. Really excited to see, hopefully, you know, if we're so lucky to do a third location, I'm hoping that he'll be the head chef over there someday.
A third location.
That would be fabulous, wouldn't that? I would have so much
tremendous.
fun. I learned a lot from building this location, and it was such a humbling and amazing experience to be surrounded by top-notch professionals in this industry, in the fourth largest city in the country, and to be able to be so lucky to have that opportunity again would be a dream come true, and we're hoping to be able to get there.
That would be so much fun.
There are so many exciting things, and when I thought about the description, now you have one wine in your product line, the Cabernet.
Just one for now.
But you're going to build on that. But had Jenna have another idea for a show, it would be called the Wine Label Show. We could talk about wine labels because it's one of those things. When we look at wine, the label is so important.
It's art. It's
not
the
just
art.
the text, but the graphics of the label and the font and everything else, the colors. Anyway. Stay tuned for that in 2024.
They also, I'm just going to throw in one other little tidbit here. They also have Jonathan's The Rub, the famous top secret rub, bottled up that people can also purchase, which is amazing. During the holidays, that was an incredible gift paired with the wine. You know.
I mean, we almost sold out of all of the rub, the little jars. We only had a few left. Luckily, I was able to get more, so you guys can come by and pick up a bottle of rub for you anytime. I put it on my popcorn. I put it on my vegetables. Goodness. I put it on basically everything. It's my little secret sauce when I'm actually doing some cooking at home.
Okay, so people can buy the rub, Jonathan's The Rub, at either location?
At either location.
So we can go for lunch, dinner, and then leave with something to go.
Absolutely. And we even have people, you know, they're going to their beach house, they're going to their, you know, country house, and they want to bring some wine. They want to definitely bring that bottle of rub because it'll make them shine at every single
I
dinner.
was going to say, you can take credit. Like, oh, that's my secret, seasoning. Just hide the bottle.
Well, here's another Jonathan's the Rub trick that I've discovered, and that's you can go to the restaurant, either location, and enjoy whatever you want. Like, I didn't want to miss out on the macaroni and cheese one time.
Oh, yeah.
However, I didn't want it then, so I had whatever I had as my meal. And then I said, hey, I want a macaroni and cheese to go.
I think that's
and
perfect.
Then, what a great idea, huh?
It is a great idea because also our, the
'Cause the macaroni and
containers.
cheese is killer.
Right, but it's also, some people give you these flimsy clamshell containers. Not here. You're going to get the real deal
That's right.
to-go container where you're able to heat up your product, rinse, reuse, keep it as Tupperware. The bags are fabulous. I think you
I was
can.
just gonna say the
Everything. I really tried to keep the label and the brand consistent throughout. So the bags, I use the bags. I just went on vacation. I had like 3 Jonathan's bags. I'm rolling up, the valets. What's this Jonathan's? So I'll
Eye-catching.
tell you.
Well, and the other thing, I'm a mom of high schoolers, right? Boys who play sports. They're starving when they get out of school. So I don't feel like cooking dinner, Jessica. I can come here and get, I think it's like spaghetti and meatballs for 4, basically. Tell me a little bit about the to-go options, because it's a great thing.
So one thing I will say is that Campbell Place does really shine more in the family style to-go department. I mean, as a mom, our biggest fear is getting the question. We all know the question. Mom, what's for dinner? Whew, that's a tough one at
And
the
you're
end of every
exhausted.
single day.
Yeah.
So it's really nice. I mean, you can come here, place a pickup order. We'll bring it right out to your car for you. But, if you really need a half pan of a side dish, or you want, you have a family of 4 or 6 and you guys want burgers for dinner, they'll do everything separate, which is the way it should be, because the bread doesn't get soggy and you can really build your own burger. The fries are separate, so you can, if need be, you can put them in the in the oven. No chef Mike. No microwave. No microwave allowed.
You know what I do? I warm stuff up in the air fryer sometimes.
Oh my
and
gosh,
it
what?
comes out better
I can't.
than a microwave.
I can't tell you what a game changer the air fryer.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, really. I mean,
it is in my home.
I think
with us.
that air fryers have changed the game in to-go for sure. Back in the day, you wouldn't take fried shrimp or fried anything for that matter to go. Now you can, because we have air fryers at home, and they really are
They help
magic.
the texture, among other things, as
It's
well as
amazing.
heating. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I'm eating at Jonathan's again at home, and
It's
so it's
amazing.
fabulous. Yes, definitely.
And I'm going back to the bag, Jesse. When I leave the restaurant, if I take something with me, the bags are beautiful.
Thank you.
And sometimes, even though I take something out of the bag, I'll leave the bag sitting on my counter because it makes me feel like, hey, it's upgraded the kitchen a little.
There we go.
Does that sound crazy?
It does not sound crazy at all.
I needed
I
that
actually
validation.
am very humbled.
It's beautiful.
Thank
By
you.
the way, the logo that is on the bags and on your Cabernet Sauvignon wine right here, give us an idea. How did that originate? That is beautiful and
Thank you.
eye-catching. The handwriting, the Jonathan's.
Well, I don't know if this is a security risk or not, but that's actually my dad's signature.
How about that?
That's awesome.
Yes.
Again, it's very authentic.
It is very authentic, but it
great.
again, it brings in the family,
Right.
the family dynamic and makes it a little bit more personal that way, I think.
I love that.
2023, what are some of the things, and we want to remind people, 2 locations. Now, if you're listening outside of Houston, certainly as a business traveler, you want to make sure you go to Jonathan's The Rub, one of the 2 locations. However, you have the 2 locations, dinners and lunches to go, but the catering is a big element, right?
Catering is where we started
It's where
when
you
we
started.
came to Houston. Catering, it's much more safe in this industry. It's fixed in terms of how many people, what they're eating, what you're getting into, whereas the restaurant industry is very variable. I wish I had a magic crystal ball to tell me what was going to happen here every day, but you don't. So catering, it's very safe. That's where we started again. when we came to Houston, and we got to go into people's homes. We still do. We were extremely busy over the holiday season, and it's so fun for us because, again, it's so personal, and we really get to know our clients very well, and sky is the limit. And when I say that, I mean it. I mean, we've done New England style clam bakes. We've done anything that the guests want, any kind of cuisine, which is really neat. But the menu is their template. Our menu is a great place for them to start. What would you like us to serve in your home? So many options, so customizable. Usually when you have catering, it's you're getting this, or you're getting this package, or you're getting this. And the menu is fixed, the price is fixed. But here, what we do is we customize it to every guest's needs. And I think that that's what makes us stand out with catering. We come into your home. Do you need something as simple as a drop-off? Do you need full service? Do you need a bar? Do you need a bartender? Do you want somebody to help clean up at the end? I know I do. So we offer all from, the very, like I said, bare minimum of dropping it off to the full service to setting up a beautiful buffet with chafing dishes. We have all of our own equipment too. So there's no equipment fees and all of these other things that come in with other catering companies. And again, I think that makes us stand out a little bit more than the average catering business.
And is it true that for certain catering jobs, Jonathan actually makes an appearance or does some of the cooking right there?
He does. It's really still, cooking is his passion. He loves getting to know his guests or clients on a more personal level. He thoroughly enjoys cooking. One of his favorite things is going to someone's home and, hey, God bless them. They haven't used their kitchen yet. That's okay. We won't hold that against them.
Some people don't
so
know
he
where
gets
their
to break
kitchen
it
is.
in. Yeah, I mean, the funniest story from one of our catering jobs is when we turned on the oven and smelled something burning, and it was the instruction packet for the
Oh my gosh.
So they hadn't even used
awesome.
their oven yet after living there for a year, but that's okay. We don't hold it against them. My dad gets a kick out of using the
Who better to break it in, though, than Jonathan Levine? I mean, okay.
Jonathan broke in my oven.
That's amazing.
So he still is very active with catering, even more so than the restaurants, because it's really a passion for him right now at the moment.
Well, I would also say that if I had a party that was catered by Jonathan's The Rub, and you're telling people, oh, we're going to have Jonathan, and we have Jonathan there, I mean, that's like even a bigger deal.
It's like a celebrity side.
I think he's like a little memorial celebrity now.
is.
So when you say,
Totally.
yeah, Jonathan's going to be cooking at my party, I don't think anybody's not going to RSVP to that.
The Jonathan,
Exactly.
as in the Jessica.
Exactly.
Maybe I'll get there someday. The
Celebs.
J can easily turn into a Jessica on the side. We'll see what happens.
Ah.
What's your brother's name?
Sam, so he's
Ah,
out of
gonna say, I
it.
thought we were on a-
kinda-
But then my son is Jay, so
And we got
you
Jenna
never
here,
know.
so
Oh,
there's
Jenna,
Jay.
come on!
Move
She's
over,
already
Sam.
part of the family. She might as well just jump on
sounds
in.
good to
Except that
me.
I cannot cook, but
Well,
I can make
you're
things
good
look
at-
good.
You're good like me. We like to schmooze and get to
Exactly.
know people.
I can
and
schmooze.
so there we go.
One of the other things I want to mention, for those that are in Houston that have not been to Jonathan's, or again, the business traveler listening far beyond, that the locations that you have, they're easy to get to. I mean, both of them, Memorial Green right here where we're at, easy to get in and out off of Gessner near the Beltway, Campbell Place. It's incredible. That's really comes in handy, especially at the lunch hour, I think.
I think being on the feeder road at I-10 and Campbell has been an absolute game changer for my family, because whether you're going 100 miles an hour down the Katy Freeway or you're going 10 because you're stuck in traffic, you can see our sign. So that means that you can just easily get off the highway, get back on. It's right there. Same thing with the Memorial Green location being right off of Memorial. The Beltway 8 is just right down the street. So we get people from Sugar Land, Missouri City. It's such an honor to have people. I mean, that's kind of like almost the same thing as the loopers coming out to me. If you're coming from Sugar Land to come over here to see us for dinner, I am ever so grateful.
Well,
but it's easy.
It's a big
It's because
deal.
it's easy.
Well, I don't know if you guys know, Jenna, we're getting a lot of emails from our Laguna Beach listeners. So the good news for them, all they have to do is get on I-10 drive about 20 hours and take the Campbell Road exit.
It's worth
simple.
it. It's worth
just
it.
a straight shot.
That I-10's incredible. It makes it easy.
It makes it
does.
easy, and that's our theme. We try to make it easy for
That's
you.
our other motto. We've talked a little bit about lunch and dinner. So now both locations are offering brunch. Tell us a little bit about that, because
Well-
that's like a total bonus, I feel like.
I think brunch is one of my favorite meals.
Same.
It's a time where you're able to be with the kids, be with family. And so we've been doing brunch here at the Memorial Green location now for about 3 years. And we're about to revamp the menu, which is going to be really fun. So everybody look out for that on social media and our website. But, it's fun because Campbell Place just started doing brunch. So they do brunch every Saturday and Sunday. Again, the menus are a little bit different. That location over at Campbell Place has that more Tex-Mex, Texas feel and flair. Whereas here it's a little bit more upscale and traditional. So
And very comfortable, too. The styling, as I'm looking around, those that can tune into the YouTube video, the couches, the colors, it's very comfortable and, as you said, upscale.
thank you.
It's upscale, but not stuffy.
It's
at
not
all.
stuffy.
It's very relaxed.
And when we, we got to work with Gensler to design the interior, and that's exactly what we wanted. We didn't want people to feel that they had to get dressed up to come here, but if you wanted to, that was okay. We didn't want people to feel like you couldn't come in if you just left your son's sports game. You can come in, and it's comfortable. The seats, I sat in every chair, I held every glass, I held every piece of silverware to make sure that if I liked it, then I'm hoping that somebody else will like it as well. It's about feeling and texture and touch and hominess. And we wanted everybody to feel like they're at home when they're dining with us, and still keep the concept from the original location. Those that have known us, like Jenna, for years, we started with just a small, teeny little section of the strip mall, and as the years went by, those 10 long years we were there, if you can believe it.
That's amazing.
As we took over each spot, each room had a little bit of a different feel, and what we noticed was we wanted to carry that on over here. So each room does have a little bit of a different feel, but we've named them after rooms in your home: the living room, the formal dining
I didn't
room,
know that.
the sunroom. So where
Which
we're
room are
sitting,
we in
we're
right
in the
now?
sunroom right now.
Loving the sunroom.
Isn't it great that
Perfect.
there's windows
The beautiful
everywhere?
lighting.
It's nice and light and sunny. We have our formal private dining room.
Which you can do events in.
The events have been fabulous.
Incredible.
December was so kind to us. Everybody was just ready to party, ready to go out, celebrate, enjoy the holidays, and we were busier than ever, and we are ever so grateful for that. And I think D'Angelo, our event coordinator, makes it so easy. And again, we're giving the guests what they want. You don't have to choose column A, B, or C. What do you want for your party? And we also offer a great service where you can get flowers through us, cake or balloons. We have it all set up for you upon arrival. So, hey, Jimmy, go get the cake. Hey, Sarah, go get the flower. No. There's none of that confusion, none of that coordination needed. We do everything for you, and it goes towards your minimum spend for the room.
That's so amazing.
It's really convenient.
It's one-stop shopping.
It is a one-stop shop because you don't have to think of, we've got it all for you and customize it to your liking.
I love that.
It's really great.
And
It's really
to be
fun.
successful, you've had trial and error. We talked about the details, and one of the things I'm imagining, and I'm sure there's more data points, but as you mentioned, coming up with something new. If it were me and I designed, let's say, the scallops when they were first created, right? So you put that on the menu. I would think that when someone ordered that dish, I would watch and look over without being obnoxious. I would look over to see, and when you see a smile on the face, or they're reaching over to their friend saying, "Oh my goodness, this is so good," that's a data point. So you observe when this food comes out. So I would think you're watching, right, and being delighted when it's received well. In addition, at the end of the day, or as you watch the computer or the tabulations, we've sold X steaks, we've sold 100 scallop dishes. You get to see that feedback, so you kind of know what's working and what's not, right?
Yes, definitely. I call it a drive-by. So I
I figured I was struggling.
Definitely don't, Bill.
I knew
You're
there was a
absolutely
word,
right.
I would go crazy. I would love that part of it.
It is. It's very exciting to see how people receive new things that you put on the menu. I'm really excited to see how people enjoy we're going to revamp our Valentine's Day feature page this year. And there's been moments where we've missed the mark. I remember our very first, I believe it was Christmas. We only had a couple of choices for the guests on the menu, and we didn't have our regular menu. Well, we had a mutiny on our hands. So what we learned is that it's best to, and that's the thing. Hey, you've got to listen to your guests. I think a lot of restaurateurs
and watch them too, right?
Watch
See
them,
how they respond.
listen, hear them out. If something's not working or it doesn't play well, then you change the game and you change the menu to something that they might receive a little bit better. But it is always fun to do the drive-by, as I call it, and see them take their first bite of something new that you're introducing to the menu. It is a lot of fun.
So fun. It's so fun seeing that art creation really come to life.
Definitely.
Right?
Oh, absolutely. And I think
Amazing.
that's why I chose white plates, is because Dad's food is the art. So the white
It's so
plate is the
beautiful.
canvas.
Yeah.
I
Indeed.
love
You're
that.
listening to the Successful Living Show with Jenna and Bill. I'm Bill.
I'm Jenna.
And we're with Jessica Levine at Jonathan's The Rub, a tremendous restaurant right here in Houston, Texas at the Memorial Green location. Stay with us, please. At P&R Creative, your story is our motivation. We want to tell your story in a way that resonates with your target market, whether that be your employees, your investors, potential customers, or a global television and film audience. We get to know your company, your customers, your employees, your goals, and then we put together a detailed plan that maximizes what you do well and plans for improvement where you may need it. We weave together all the pieces of your story to provide consistency across marketing, communications, branding, ESG, and video storytelling. Reach out to us through our website, prcreativegroup.com. That's prcreativegroup.com, or call us at 832-553-6208. 832-553-6208. Reach out to us. As we continue at Jonathan's The Rub, a tremendous restaurant in Houston, Texas, the Memorial location with Jessica Levine and Jenna Jackson with P&R Creative. Jenna, here we are. You have known Jessica for a long time, and she's one of your tremendous clients.
She is. I have known her and her family since they were in that little sliver of a restaurant in the strip center where Sonny's convenience store was next door. We would get yelled at for parking there occasionally back in the day, but we've known them for so long. We love this brand. We love this family. So it's an honor for us to get to do their marketing and social media. And I have to say, I'm really excited. Like every holiday and event that comes up, they just outdo themselves. Feel like Valentine's Day is going to be one of those. Tell us what's happening.
Coming up.
I think Valentine's Day here is going to be fabulous. One thing that I just secured was a tent outside for our patio. I'm so excited, with the clear roof. It's going to have chandeliers.
Oh my
There's going to be
gosh.
roses on the table, white tablecloth. It's just going to be breathtaking and fabulous. So I can't wait for those that are coming in to celebrate for Valentine's Day. We will have it out there from the 11th. Valentine's Day, when it falls on a Tuesday, it's fun because you get to kind of celebrate longer. So it'll start on that Friday, where we'll debut our feature page, but we'll also have our regular menu as well, because what we found is from our mistake with
You
that
do not
one
want a
Christmas
mutiny.
Eve. No more mutinies. So we will have a very special features page. We'll have the raw oysters. We'll have the Chateaubriand. We'll have, some really fun menu items for our guests to enjoy. The chocolate-covered strawberries that will come at the end.
Gosh.
So I think it's definitely a very romantic place. I'm so happy to say we've had 4 engagements happen here inside of the restaurant. We've had 2 weddings here.
In the restaurant?
In the restaurant.
Okay.
And I just am so humbled by that, and I am so
that's
touched,
so
and
nice.
I love when people are able to create memories with us. And hey, remember, we got engaged 2023 Valentine's Day at Jonathan's, outside in the tent under the chandeliers, with roses everywhere, and just a beautiful setting.
Amazing.
I think that hopefully we'll get another couple of engagements maybe for 2023
I have
out
a
here.
feeling, indeed.
I was
I
going
think
to say,
so. I think it's going to happen.
And guys, if you're doing that, you may want to call ahead to get a little help, a little special treatment.
Oh, we can definitely make that happen for you.
Make sure
Mum's
there's
the
a
word.
video happening.
Oh, yes. Oh, it's so funny,
Right?
isn't it? No, we have. I mean, we've done like productions, where the manager is hiding behind the corner
Love it.
in the private dining room, because the engagement is about to happen. And, every single one I'm crying. Of course, I'm a big sap, and I just think it's the most romantic thing, and especially honored that they're spending it and sharing it with us. So
Yeah.
I'm in the
It's incredible.
trying to hold back the tears, and it's just so special. And to have 2 weddings inside of
That's
this location,
amazing. But it's a
I was
beautiful
blown away.
spot.
I was so honored that they wanted to do that here, share it with us. And then one time we had a big engagement out on the patio. The whole family was out there. She had no idea. The groom-to-be brings her through the front door so that she can't see them out on the patio. I mean, it was so special. I was bawling my eyes out, looking through the window, just sobbing, crying. It was so beautiful.
That's amazing. So Valentine's Day, Jonathan's the Rub is the place to be for love, apparently.
Absolutely.
And both locations are going to have specials, feature menus of some sort.
Absolutely. They're also going to be dressing it up over there at Campbell Place. My brother and I have different styles, but he always pulls through with something absolutely amazing. I know the menu is going to be fabulous. They always outdo themselves. They do such a great job. And over here as well, I think that it's going to be a lot of fun for the guests to come and see. So if they just, keep
exciting.
track of us on social media and on our website, we should have those menus up for everybody to look at soon.
So make sure you get your reservation in early, because when people hear this, we're getting down to the wire. So
Exactly.
One thing I've learned, and especially, we started to get people calling in September for Christmas buyouts, for Christmas parties. By October, we had already gotten almost half full. People are planning early. So I would really suggest thinking about that. It'd be a really good idea to start making plans and reservations.
be prepared.
Be prepared, guys. Be
You don't want to
prepared.
miss it. That is a
No.
major faux pas.
Even if your lady says she doesn't want to do anything, that's not true.
not true.
As we all know,
It's a
I don't
lie.
want anything. I don't want to do anything.
Don't get caught in that lie,
Don't
boys.
listen to her. That's not true. Come
not
over
true.
to us. We'll take good care of you.
And let's remind people, if they're just tuning in, Jonathan's the Rub, 2 locations, catering, and your cuisine. You have steaks, you have seafood, you have Italian. It's a tremendous cuisine. One of the things that I know about myself, and your father has said this on previous appearances when he's been on the show, he says it like this: I'm a sauce guy. Well, I identify with that. I've been a sauce guy. I will continue to be a sauce guy.
Shirts that say
Yeah.
that.
Hey, there we go. Right.
Yeah, there we
Saucy.
go.
And
Brandy.
also coming out in 2023 will be the Jonathan's the Rub air fryer that we could do our bring homes, right?
Get it to
Great, a black
go.
air
We got a lot-
fryer with the white logo. I think it's fabulous.
We got a lot to talk about, Jess. So the rub air, I love it. But anyway, the sauces are so important. Even when you have a tremendous steak, I like a little béarnaise sauce, and you have so many toppings and sauce. Sauces are great.
Lots of different toppings, lots of different
Gruyere cheese.
sauces.
Oh, my God.
Oh gosh! You know
Bill's
what?
back to the
Bill,
scallops.
I'm
you
back
can
on that.
put that Gruyere cheese sauce from the scallops on chicken or
Didn't know.
pork, and it is equally as fabulous. But I think that
good.
a lot of restaurants get very comfortable, especially the chain restaurants, of ripping open the package and pouring it into the saucepan and warming it up. But we don't do that here. In fact, some of the sauces are made when you order them. So I think that having the homemade sauces, having them be so versatile is definitely one thing that makes us stand out amongst all of the competition. And there is a lot of competition here in Houston. So to be successful has been such a tremendous honor, really. It's been great.
You really have had a community rally around you, though. I know we're getting close to the end of our show, but I just want to say one thing about, you guys are so in the community. You've done so much for the community. I know your dad would love for us to mention a tiny bit about the Ukraine work that you've done. It's been so phenomenal.
Oh,
and the
thank
amount
you.
of money you guys have raised. Can you just talk quickly about that?
My family and I are really big into you put out energy and you receive it. So if you are involved and active and doing positive things for the community, we do a lot for the schools here, the fire department, the police department, and Ukraine. I think, when that war started a year ago, it really touched us because my dad's side of the family originates from that region. And so the fact that we had already gone through, the Holocaust, obviously during the time period, can't do anything about that. Well, we can do something about this. We're here, we're in this time period. There is something that we can do. And we're just this, 2-restaurant chain in Houston, but I believe, Jenna, you had the numbers better than I did. It was about 100,000
plus, I believe.
I think where we're at
and
right now.
Several vans to transport food, supplies to the Ukrainian people. It was a big impact for 2 restaurants in Houston, Texas.
Well, and it was about our connections that we've made throughout the community as well that helped us to be able to create this amazing opportunity for being able to get vans loaded with necessary supplies to our brothers and sisters that are fighting over in Ukraine against this terrible thing that's going on with their land being taken away, and we couldn't just sit and do nothing.
Yeah.
And I think that people are getting a little bit complacent right now because it has been over a year, but we're not. So we're going to continue to try to raise money for our DAR Foundation that we've been raising money for the vans, for their equipment, to be necessary to fight off Putin and this war. And if we can do it, then other people can as well. So hopefully it's a little bit inspiring for people to go out there and just do a little part. It doesn't matter if it's for your little community or for somewhere else in the world. Putting that good energy out and doing something good, we feel that we have been, rewarded. It's a give and take, right?
Yep.
So
I love that.
I really feel that if more people did what we were doing, that the world would be a better place.
You're listening to the Successful Living Show with Jenna and Bill, and today on location at Jonathan's The Rub, a tremendous restaurant right here in Houston, Texas. Before we close the show, we do want to say hello to Jonathan. We know he is a regular listener to the show. Jonathan Levine, your dad, and of course your brother, Sam, right?
Hi, Dad. Hi, Sam.
Hey, Sam.
Sauce guy.
Sauce guy.
The sauce guy. Well, we have that in common. In the meantime, one of the things, we mentioned the ambiance, the greatness of the food, the flavor. But again, it's so comfortable. I'm very comfortable right now. I don't want to leave, but we have to. Jessica Levine, let's tell people once again the website. And again, we have Valentine's Day coming up. So let's tell people the website and anything else for 30 seconds or so.
Absolutely. So you can go to jonathanstherub.com and have updates on everything that we're doing here through our website. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We have our lovely Jenna helping us out and keeping you guys informed through social media. And come on over to one of our 2 locations at 12505 Memorial Drive or the 9090 Katy Freeway. Get to meet one of us. We would love to meet you, and it's going to be a great 2023. We hope to see you guys around.
Lunch, dinner, brunch, catering, it's all there. Thank you all for listening to Successful Living with Jenna and Bill. Don't forget, Jonathan's The Rub, jonathanstherub.com. We will see you next time. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thanks, Jenna. It's always good to see you guys. I love talking with you.
We love it too.
Hey, everybody, it's Bill, and I hope you're enjoying listening to the show, but I do want to tell you, you can also see this show. It's beautiful inside Jonathan's The Rub. You can see us talking there. You'll get an idea of the ambiance if you've not been there. So just go to my website, radiobill.net. Click on the YouTube link, and this is show number 351, Successful Living Show 351. Go to radiobill.net, click on the YouTube. This is a show you'll not only want to hear, but also you'll want to see this restaurant.